My name is Zayne Isom, and I am based in Cincinnati, Ohio, but I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky. I got into music photography only about 8 months ago in December, but I've been doing photography for about 8 years now. I started in middle school. I picked up a camera and then took an after school class. And then I went to college for film, but then I kind of got drawn back whenever I started interacting with artists and going to a lot of shows. And I realized I could combine like two of the things that I really like to do, music and photography. And that was, yeah, only in December. I shot my first show for my school newspaper, and it was actually Playboy Cardi randomly. So it's like a very new journey, but I've been doing like photos for about 7, 8 years now. There's so many things to love about music photography, from connecting with different artists and being able to meet other photographers. But I think that my favorite thing is really just how far it can push you creatively. I have never really found something that I'm really good at, and music photography is one of the first things that I feel like I can combine the things that I love, like, but also challenge myself in new ways every time I go to a show. Every show has different lighting that you have to work with, different restrictions, whether you have a photo pit or not. So I just love working with that. And every time I open Lightroom or Photoshop, it's a new challenge. And then for the connections, like I said, there are so many people that I've been able to meet through this that like I would not have met had I not started music photography. Tiff is one of those I met at a Sarah and the Sunday show. So it's just really cool because like you never know how just putting yourself out there and going to a show, like who you're going to meet and what opportunities are going to come from it. So I think my favorite experience I can recall, I shot Ali and AJ in March. Their opener, the Brummies, I reached out to like the day before because my friend had like gone to the show previously and was like, "You're going to love this opening band. You should ask if you can do their portraits." And so I reached out to them, like totally like just DM'd them on Instagram and was like, "Hey, I'd love to like come shoot your set and do portraits for you." And they were so sweet. They were like, "Oh my gosh, we'd love to have you." And like that was the first time that I'd ever had like full artist access at a show. I got to like hang out with them before, take their portraits. I like hung out with them in their RV, hanging out in their green room before the show. And then I was able to like take pictures behind the stage too and I've never had like access to do that. It's always just been in the photo pit. So I feel like that was like a really cool opportunity just because it's like the first time that like I feel like I was like very professional and like I was able to work one on one with a band and like get them content as well. And then I actually got to shoot for them again recently in Nashville. And like had I not reached out to them in March, I would not have like made this connection with them, and I wouldn't have ever like met them had I not done that. I think portraits are so fun just because it gives you an opportunity to work with an artist in such an intimate way. When you're shooting a show, you're not really directly like one-on-one talking to them or, directing them. So I think I love portraits just because you get to know the band more and it's different than a show. But I think that the best way that I've learned to do it was because I started off doing like senior pictures and event photography when I was getting started and starting my business. So really having that experience working one-on-one with clients and things like that has given me, I guess, better direction and better tools to navigate whenever I'm doing portraits. My best friend is a wedding and portrait photographer, and she's taught me so much about how to pose people. I think the main thing is just like making sure that they feel comfortable, have fun with the poses, and they also like work with what they want to do. Like sometimes artists are more goofy and they want to do like more silly poses, and then sometimes they're more reserved and they just want standing in a line. And like you just kind of have to feel that out the night of the show. And sometimes I do research too. Like sometimes I'll look through their photos and see what kind of other photos they've taken before and if I can do anything different. Social media is a great tool. I have actually been a really huge fan of social media since I was a kid. Like I said, I was able to connect with the Brummies through Instagram, and I've been able to connect with other artists as well. It's like a great way to reach out in an informal way, not like an email, but still feel very professional. It's also a great way to get your work out there and also meet new people too. I've met so many new people in my area that I didn't even know did concert photography at all. So it's just been a really cool way and platform to connect with people, and then connect with people that also like love your photos. Like I did not realize I could grow a following just for people that liked to see my work. And that was something that's completely new to me because I never saw social media that way. I never thought that I could become something that people look up to, because like I looked up to so many photographers growing up and used to follow their pages. And now I have people messaging me like, "How did you get into this? Like, love your work." And it's so confusing to me because I never thought I would get to that point. I really don't think that I would be in the position that I am had I not started it and kind of built it. It's really cool. And like everyone is able to use social media in a different way. Everyone's journey is going to be different. And that's what I've been able to share with other people. It's not like you do this, this, and this, and then you're going to get to the point where you can work with artists and tour with them, because that's not how it works all the time. I feel like the best tip anyone has ever taught me is just to like not compare yourself to other people. I know in concert photography, it can be very competitive, and a lot of people are doing the same thing. When I go to shoot shows, sometimes there's anywhere from 3 to 10 photographers. So I'm not the only one in the photo pit. So I think just not intimidated by that and to just focus on what you're doing and developing your own style. What's helped me succeed too is just not comparing myself to other people and just doing what I like. I'm not trying to replicate anyone's style because that's honestly not what this industry is for. Like you're going to be hired for what your style is and what artists like. And so I'm just trying to, develop that. And it's super important that people realize everyone's work is going to look different and everyone's journey is going to look different as well. So just like being patient as well. Patience is another big thing that I've had to learn, not to get intimidated by other people's work or maybe how fast I work, and you just focus on what your goals are and what you want to achieve. I actually got hired to shoot my first event. I'm going to be shooting an EDM festival. It's called Interstellar at the Kentucky Speedway. I'm just shooting one of the days. It's actually on my birthday, August 13th. So I'm going to be shooting for a DJ that I met at Forecastle. And that's going to be like my first paid opportunity, which is really, really fun. I'm also moving to England in the fall to study abroad. So I'm really excited to explore there and kind of go to some different venues and shoot for artists there, because I know the music industry is huge in England. I'm going to be an hour outside of London. So if anyone's seeing this and lives in London, let's connect.